I need to get.
if you can.
I should. Oh shit. Yeah. What better? Yeah.
Yep.
I should loosen the locks or something, innit? Get real Naya Bingy for them. Nah, them man really are taking the piss, fam. All right, we rolling. Wait, are we on YouTube now?
Yeah.
Have you got the timer?
Are we on YouTube live right now? Yeah. Oh, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, we are. You got the timer?
I'll do it. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Salute. What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of Cut the Chat. We're just waiting on there you go, this little man. We're just waiting on Femi. I know Femi's had a long day. Femi's been doing a lot of speaking today. He's been talking to a lot of different publications and doing a lot of press and media because there's a lot going on right now. There's a hell of a lot going on right now. So we got a lot to talk about. I know we usually do a Tuesday. Tuesday I had a radio show on 1Xtra. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the hour. And yeah, we're just gonna talk, man. It's gonna be four black men discussing how they feel right now, how they're discussing the state of the world, and what we feel like we can do, and whether or not we feel like we can do anything, to be fair. So we're gonna do that today. We want everybody to make sure they get involved as well. Hit us up. Shout out to Tanisha, big up to Mr. Fed as well. Shout out to everybody else that's in the chat room. Get involved. Lee, you good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can we see you?
Oh yeah, hold on, sorry.
All right.
Lee, are you in the bathroom? You sound echoey.
You all right?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I apologize.
It's all good. You know, Femi's gonna hit us up at 11 p.m. and be like, "Yo, man, I'm sorry, man.
He's not well, is he? One, Mr. Ed. One.
We have no idea where Femi is.
Lee,
talk to me.
You need that. You see what you done there?
Yeah.
So when we do the 8-minute 46-second silence,
oh yeah,
we need you to write that on, because obviously when people start getting in, just hold it up so people can see that, yo, this is what we're doing.
All right, cool.
The countdown, right? You're gonna have the countdown thing.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Femi. Here we go.
You ready now?
Hold on. Femi, yo. I don't know why people would say that our podcast is not professional. It's I don't know why people would say that. It's mad.
We're on point.
We're so professional, man.
We're on point.
And just turn up to the live podcast late and that.
Femi.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do the live podcast.
Femi, you can't start the hour that way, man. You just can't, man. Just bringing the wrong energy, bro.
Energy. Come on, Femi. We need better energy.
You can't start with I didn't want to do that.
No, people can't complain. People can't complain. I'm tired, man. I'm tired.
Femi, you just give no F's in it. You just
I say how I feel. I express myself. I can't be saying stuff to please people.
Well, that is what this podcast today is about. But I hear you, but you can't land on the podcast late and your excuses.
I am not a people pleaser. Listen, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling the live YouTubers the truth, innit? I could lie to them and say, yeah, I'm like super energized right now. everything is making me tired. I'm tired.
Okay, well, sorry for us keeping you awake longer than you need to be for me.
No,
We apologize.
anytime, man. Anything for the culture, innit?
Man, like
That's the
anything
energy
for the culture.
Anything for the culture, man.
That's the energy.
That's exactly the energy we need.
Ace, when are we popping off this 8 minutes and 46 seconds of silence?
So, I mean,
Femi, you can use that time to sleep if you want.
Trust me, if I sleep here, you're not getting me back.
Oh, we've experienced that before, Femi.
I tell you.
Tell him again, Femi, yo.
I tell you, if I sleep, y'all ain't getting me back.
Basically, there's a lot going on, and I think there's a lot of conversations that are happening. There's a lot we want to talk about, and I think as 4 black men that have a podcast where we talk about and we basically discuss the things that men talk about in the barbershop, this is what's going on right now. And I think what we are seeing right now has affected everybody in a different way. Everybody has different feelings and thoughts about it. And I think it would be an injustice if we didn't give you a podcast this week. We weren't able to do it on Tuesday. I had a live radio show on 1Xtra. So we thought we would give you...
What a powerful show, Ace.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Do you know what, Ace, yeah?
Hold on. In saying that, Ace, send Shawnee be the link.
I've sent it to him. I told him he's going to come on anytime after 1:15.
Okay.
Listen, when I say that was the most powerful hour of radio I've listened to in probably like in a long time, probably in my life, yeah. Like, I'm being honest, because it was like I couldn't believe you lot were doing this on like big BBC, big national radio, and like you were given a platform to be able to truly speak your mind in that way. And I just thought it was really cathartic. I thought it was great that, that lady, there was a white lady that says she's scared of tall black men.
With beards.
Shorty B said you never sent the link.
Oh, anyway, shame. I just told him to, I don't know. Surely link's coming now, bro.
But when I mean like, for me, like listening to you guys was like, it was just great, man. I just thought you guys did a good job. And I want to like congratulate the programming team as well for affording you guys the opportunity to truly speak like that on a big up, like, just the whole thing, the whole platform, and the fact that my kids could listen to it. And they were silent in the car all the way from Croydon to Northwest London.
That's amazing. All right, Shawnee, if you're listening, come true now. Let's deal with that now.
Right, let's start this. Let's start this 8 minutes 46 seconds. But we're gonna do it when Shawnee lands.
No, we'll do it now, and then we'll chat to Shawnee straight after.
So basically, people that have just joined that don't know. So we've decided that we're gonna do a moment of silence in honor of George Floyd and everybody else that has been unlawfully murdered at the hands of the police in America, in this country, and all over the world. We've decided to do 8 minutes 46 seconds. When we come up with this idea, we spoke to a few people and ran it past them, and I was like, whoa, that's quite a long time. And then we said, that's exactly the reason. That's a very long time. That's how long man had his knee on the back of man's neck whilst he was pleading for his life, while he was calling for his mum. Yeah, so I think it's only right that just to get it into context, because at football matches and all of these things all around the country throughout the year, there's a minute silence for this and a minute silence for that. And some of it is upheld perfectly and there's others that isn't. So let's just actually fully understand how long 8 minutes and 46 seconds is. So Ace, when you're ready.
Rest in peace, George Floyd. Wow.
Wow. Oh. Mhm.
As we can see, that is a super long time.
That was mad.
That's a very long time to have someone's knee in your neck.
Bruv. That was yeah. Yeah. Ace, I can't lie. I have to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Any point in that did you fall asleep?
No, I definitely did not fall asleep. Yeah. I was just thinking, like, when you think about 8 minutes and 46 seconds, like, especially like nowadays, there's artists that put out EPs that are shorter than that. I'm not even joking. 100%. It's nuts. I want to say we got to bring Shawnee B in. What's going on, Shawnee?
You can hear me? Check.
Yeah, all right. Shawnee sound crystal, boy.
You sound good. Your microphone is
Boy, look at the microphones that you've got there, boy.
It's a proper Neumann U87.
Hey, there you go. There you go. How you been, brother?
Do you know what? It's been, how many hours has it been? Like 48, 72 hours?
Yeah.
It's been a odd 40 whatever hours it's been. The phone calls that we've received, the reactions, the responses, it's like a sense of responsibility, yes. I ain't gonna tell no lie. It does feel like it weighs heavy sometimes. You get what I'm saying? But when I left the studio and I was driving home, I felt like I was free. Like I felt liberated to a certain extent. You get what I'm saying? I actually said, I feel like I'm light right now. That's the sense that I had. Like I felt like I was light, and yeah, I just felt light. But some of the responses and reactions has been nuts. That's been like the most craziest thing for me.
Definitely. So for those that ain't heard it, me and Shawnee did a show on Tuesday that was dedicated to George Floyd, but also we touched on just racism. We touched on white privilege. We touched on racism. We touched on police. We touched on so many different. I mean, as much as we could fit into those 120 minutes, because that's all we really had. But a lot was said, and we were given free reign to say exactly how we felt. There was going to be no repercussions. We were allowed to say it exactly how it was. And you know what? Respect to them for that as well, because I mean, we do, Shawnee, we do this podcast every week. And whenever these men start going in, I back out because I'm BBC in it.
You're scared.
Like, I'm scared. I don't want to say certain things. So as soon as these men start going in on various different topics, I'm just like, I go mute. You know what I'm saying? And it was like you just said, I said it in the morning after, it was super liberating to be able to just really speak my mind, and especially on, I know we're talking about George Floyd, but just especially on how I feel as a black man every day, working in a corporate environment and working in that building, and I said it before, my position and my position in the music in this industry, various different things. Like, so much came out as a result of this program. And you're right, my phone has not stopped ringing. My DMs are insane, and it's just taught me a lot about myself. And at first I was beating myself up, actually, because I was like, why is it taking me this long to speak out? And this is a deep thing, but it actually, the fact that I hadn't, because we've seen DJ speak out, I lie.
Yeah.
We kind of have. And they're not about anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes you have to go through the fuckery, yeah, in order to be able to get to a point where you can do that. And I feel like I've paid my 18 years and
Hundreds.
I paid my time, I paid my dues, and now I'm in a position where I'm like, yo, look, this is how it is, and this is how I feel, and this is what's going on. And yeah, it was, and I love that I had the opportunity to do it with you, because me and you have seen so many of the same things, and we've moaned about some of the same things, and we felt the same way. And I always say that I've always wanted to be more like Shawnee and that, and be able to speak my mind more. And
I didn't realize that about myself. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't realize that I spoke so outwardly in that manner. And my thing is just being who I am. Scar, I went through, I think I went through some times where it's like you want to be accepted in a different section of what you do, especially in what we do, Ace. You get what I'm saying? So even being like a dancehall DJ, but I was a dancehall DJ that did the whole remix thing. So it was easy for me to kind of think, let me slide over to what the EDM is doing with dancehall and all the rest of it. But what I realized quick and fast was there was nothing better than being the very best black me and being very 100% with that. And I think it's when I lost my show that I started to realize that, you know what, even when you try and adapt to the situation and the system, and when I lost my show, I had like good numbers on Radio 1 at the time. And it was like, rah, even then you're not good enough, bruv. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you do all of that to try and fit in. And as you say, toe the line to a certain extent and don't be too loud. But even then, I felt like it didn't work. And what was the funniest thing here, Ace? During that time when I didn't have my show, I just went back to the ends, innit? I had my birthday party in the ends. The ends came out and supported me. It was them that made me from the very beginning. And then I started to produce. And at the time, I wanted to dabble with like dubstep and all them kind of things. And I said, later to that, let me go and do reggae. And you know what happened? I won my Grammy with Morgan Heritage. And that's when I realized, don't pretend to be nothing but yourself. And then this thing is not about name calling, yeah? But I have to say, when I got back my show, I got back my spot on 1Xtra, Charlie Sloth was on there. And I always remember going on and chatting about Orange. And I remember saying it on here, Orange. And I goes, hear what now? If next man could be talking like this on this station, I'm going to be the best black brother that I can be. And you see, from that, that was just like, I'm going to be in the office loud. Not even loud. I'm just going to be in the office. Me, I'm a bubbly character. Why should I tone it down for? I bring, as they say, color to the room. So let me just bring the best color. And my thing now is that if we don't be like this, we're cheating ourselves. And not to say that we're all like that, but if we don't bring our culture to work, we're cheating ourselves. I mean, on the flip side of that is, and this is what scares me, because one of the most important things that came out of this was that my son's deputy head teacher, who I've been in conversations with back and forward with the school and all sorts, because my son's there, he's playing up, but then at the same time, I can see where they're playing up. So I have to pull them up in the same way I drag him up, I drag them up. So there's been conversations with them, and she emailed me and she said, after listening to that show, she definitely feels committed to the cause of listening and opening up that dialogue and making others understand more, because we put our true story on the front. And the reason why I'm saying all this is because when we send our children to school, they walk out of the house with the same culture that we walk out of the house with 90% of the time.
Straight.
But we have control over that as adults. So when we're going out of the workplace, we may not be like, well, go on. I'm like, all right, Tom. You get what I'm saying? But me, man, just, well, go on, Tom. Because if an Irish guy comes into work, he could be top of the morning, Tom. And that's his culture. Me, naturally, is just, well, go on. So when our youths them go to school now, and they're like, well, go on, teacher, this, that, the other, they see that as street language, blah, blah, blah. And they want to shut all that down. They don't understand it. And that's when the friction all starts with the youths them at school and this, that, the other. And I'm like, if you understand where these youths are just coming from and just see them for what they are, it's a lot easier for everybody. Because I think sometimes the problems that I see with my youth at school is that the teachers just don't understand it, that he's going to come back at them, because naturally in the yard, we're like, yo, yeah, but that, blah, blah, no, but it, what now? That's the way that I was when I was a youth growing up in my yard with my mother and them. That's just naturally, we're very kind of people like that, you know what I'm saying? So if we don't show that fully all the time, nobody's going to be normal with that. So right. That's me, Ace. When you see me there, that's why it's too tiring. As you said, it's too tiring. It's
draining, man. It's draining. I
can't do it.
Like, I feel like it's why our parents would come home knackered, because they've been and be vexed with us, because
trust me,
they've been acting all day. Like they've been conforming and pretending. They've been doing an acting job the whole day. and you get home and you're tired. And there's been times when I've come home and I'm tired. And I always say, like, people ask me, like, what's your favorite part of your job? I say my favorite part of my job is 10 till 1. Them 3 hours I'm in the studio, that is when I can be me. When I get out of the studio, I gotta conform a little bit. Before I get into the studio, I gotta conform a little bit. You know what is what's interesting about you saying when you lost your job? Because for me, I did the total opposite. When I got my show back on 1Xtra, I was looking at them like, okay, they've given me another chance. Who are the black people that are doing bits? And you looked at Charlie and was like, they want the black thing. And I looked at it like, no, they don't want the black thing from us. So I'm gonna start putting on shirts. Go look at the pictures of when I first started daytime. For the first year, I was wearing a shirt every day. That is not me, fam. Do you know what I'm saying? I was fully conforming to try and do what I thought they wanted me to do. And that was tiring. But as long as I got to do radio, I was happy. But it's long. And this week, I just said no more. That is it.
But you see what you may not know, Ace. I have been working in the BBC since I was 19. So that's over 20 odd years ago. And I worked in a place called News and Current Affairs, where I was literally the only black face. And at 19, I was the only youth black face that was in there. And in that 6 months that I did inside that room, like the only black people that I saw in that building was like the cleaners and the catering people. And because of the way we grow, as a youth man, good morning, sir. Good morning, mom. Good, and I didn't see none of that. And I hated. I did 6 months and I cut. So for all them reasons there, that's why on Tuesday, it was just like,
Just let it go. Yeah.
Like,
freedom.
Literally, it was just that. So
it was mine.
Ace, can I interject?
Yeah, of course you can.
So I would say that all 5 of us on this, we're in a special place because we have the liberty, especially myself, Femi, and Lee. Bro, it's my shop. I can do what I want in my shop. I can wear what I want. And there are going to be a lot of people that listen to your show and are watching this right now that don't necessarily have that liberty of being able to speak out as much as they would like to. You understand? Like, they still have to conform, because at the end of the day, like, it can't be a nice thing thinking that you could lose your job based on, do you know what I mean, your conduct. So you do have to.
You're protecting your security in it. You're protecting your security in it. At the end of the day, you got bills to pay at the end of the day, so you can't just go on.
And the thing is with both you and you, Shawnee B, and you, Ace, you are both amazing DJs. Do you know what I mean? Shawnee B, I had no idea you won a Grammy. Do you know what I mean? So that there, with Morgan Heritage, that's these lot will tell you I'm old. That's my. Do you know what I mean? But
that doesn't afford me to talk, though, you know.
But what I'm saying,
I promise you, I wish economically, then I was in a position to be able to talk even louder and bust her head and cut. Like, I'm not in that place. I'm not even close to being in that place. Like, I promise you, like, I wish it was because of that. The reason why I talk is because I'm tired. The reason why I talk is because I can see everybody else rising up and I'm like, this is a moment. The reason why I talk is because people look at me that we have a platform. What are we going to do with that platform? Like, I force and push hands inside the building to talk about certain things. You get what I'm saying? Because I say that we do have a platform. When it was, I'm shutting down a youth center called Avenues down on Harrow Road. I looked at black execs like, ain't we going to talk about it? All right, let me put a spin on it then. Fredo comes from that Avenue Center as well. Nobody jumped at it. And then next thing I saw it on ITV News or something like that. So I've been trying. I think it's just because of this special time that we have got right now. It's an exceptional, extraordinary time what I go on right now. That,
you know,
the COVID thing,
Yeah, I'm
And
with you. I'm with you because I don't know what it is now. Because a few people have asked me, yeah, why now? Like Black Lives Matter didn't just come around last week. Do you know what I mean? So a few people have asked me why now. Yeah, why am I moving so passionate on even like social media with things that I'm posting and conversations that I'm having with people. And you know what it is? I don't actually know why now.
can I ask you,
Like,
how old are you?
42.
You got kids?
Yeah, I've got a 19-year-old daughter.
That's why.
No, but this is the thing though.
It's different for us now because we're older. We got people looking at us to protect them.
You know what it is? It's like what you said just now. I feel a sense of togetherness and community more now than I've ever felt before. And it's almost like that energy gives me a bit more strength to be able to post what I want without thinking,
Could that be because it's social media though? So you can visually see that energy and that togetherness. Before we never knew if South London was the same as West London, just like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you're right with the children, because I was saying to a couple of friends and my missus the other day, the way I feel now, I'm prepared to hold the first lick and I'm prepared to go jail to make sure that my nephew and my daughter and other youngsters, because the stuff that my parents went through, as you mentioned before, and I thought about this earlier, imagine what our parents went through back in the 60s and 70s, and they never had mobile phones and WhatsApp and whatever to chat to this person, that person in their area, let alone around the world. So they must have felt so isolated, so like alone at times, that as you said, Ace, that they're going to work and they got to put up with this madness. Can you imagine what they were doing with that work?
When I was a youth, I remember going to my dad's workplace with him in South London, and my old man was a drinker. So he'd be a man that would be in the pub having a drink, having a laugh, this, that, the other, Dominican. And I remember a white man saying something very degrading to him. Like, I just remember, I can't remember the quote, but I remember the conversation with my dad. I remember my dad saying, nah, he's having a laugh with me. That's how we all get along and whatever and this, that, the other. And I just, like, that stuck in my head. And my dad used to watch Alf Garnett. Marigold. And them sitting there like, yo. And I think that generation there, they just took it kind of, and because I always remember hearing that Jamaicans was the ones and that never take it. That's why Jamaicans get the bad name. And my father was a Dominican. So I suppose a little bit more accepting because culturally, I'm not rough up and tough up. So you get what I'm saying? My mother was a Jamaican. My mother wouldn't have that. But my father accepted it. And that stuck with me. And it was purely to be accepted, to be able to go through in the workplace. And I was like, I don't know why that has stuck with me for so many years. I must have been like 9, 10, but I just remember it. And it was so disrespectful. And to know my father would sit there and watch Alf Garnett go at Marigold, you know? Like, that was their norm.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But you know what it is? You know what it is? As parents, yeah, we make sacrifices for our children. And that might have been a sacrifice that your dad had to make that time, knowing that
true,
he's the head of a family. Like you know, like Bridget, I get up at 5:30 in the morning every day to go to work. I don't want to. You understand? Like if I didn't have to, but that's a tiny sacrifice to make sure people around me are okay and I'm okay and I'm enjoying the lifestyle that I'm living. Do you know what I mean? So for our parents back then, and I hear you, that especially that program, that Alf Garnett thing. I remember I don't know the actor's name. Femi, you probably know the actor. There was a black brother on there. He went on to be in Oz and a couple other things. He was in that
Nigerian guy.
Yeah.
Nigerian. Yeah, I know you're talking about. And he played like he was like the gay guy that lived next door or something like that.
Yeah, Femi, you're on mute.
Is it Triple A?
Nah, it weren't him. It weren't him. Or what? No, it wasn't. It weren't.
I would love to speak to him, you know, to see how he felt about it, because I can't remember nothing positive. It wasn't like there wasn't like a comeback line where there was a positivity. Like Afghan, it just clarted him week in, week out. He just got clarted every week. It was horrible.
Do you think the older generation are like, well,
sorry. Someone saying, is it Eamon Walker?
Eamon Walker, yes. Eamon Walker is like, he's doing well. He's in America now. He doesn't work here anymore.
See it there? He's doing well now. Marigold.
He doesn't work here. He doesn't work in England, really.
Do you think the older generation are like, well, it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be?
Absolutely.
Because I thought I was gonna get loads of. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought that once the videos that they posted on the BBC today of the show went out, that there would be some backlash, because I've seen it before. I've seen when we talk about race before, and there's some people that get their backs up, people that probably had never had no interaction with black people, people that maybe just don't like the existence of black people, like, and get very brave online, and start tweeting or start sending messages. I got a couple of those today, and one of them, the one that I did post said, "What are you talking about? You have the same opportunities as everyone else. Nothing's been handed to us." And it's interesting, because if I don't know if they're looking at it as black people in 2020 as compared to the 70s or the 60s, because yes, 100%, we are in a better position. That's not a lie, but it's still not a great position. We're still way behind.
Forget all of that. This nation was built off the sweat and blood of black people, the sweat and wealth of black people. Forget all of that. You owe us for life. You owe us forever. No. What? This is the thing. This is what people don't understand. You know, like in terms of like what was done in Africa, what was done to black bodies, like moving black bodies in tiny ships across oceans, like 400 and something years ago. You owe us forever, and you've never dealt with that publicly. No one's ever said sorry. No one's ever paid people no reparations. Like, in fact, France, was making Haiti pay compensation to it for years and years. I don't even know if they've stopped that yet. I still need to look into it.
Here's a question.
Stopped that yet.
What would you want to make you feel complete and accept an apology from them as such?
No, what would it crazy? Take? I don't want an apology. I just don't want you to be racist. I don't want you to make my life hard. I don't want you to make my children's life hard. I don't want you to make the education system difficult for my kids. I want access to the justice system for more black people. I want more black judges. I want all of these things, because you know what? I deserve to be treated as human, because not only because there was slavery, just because I'm human like you. I am like you. You're not no smarter than me. You're not any of these things more than me. We are equal. We're human. And that's why I'm vexed. That's why, for me, this whole thing's really frustrating, because ultimately, it's almost like black people have to prove that they deserve. You know that one? Oh, you're not like them other ones. Nah, you're racist already. Go away.
Yeah.
It's almost like I have to earn the right to be looked upon as a fellow human. No, mate. I am just like you. And that's the problem. I feel like we've been dehumanized for so long that people are finding it difficult to come to terms that they have to treat us as equals now.
How do we get there? Because I had my opportunity to go on the big old BBC, it's like now I feel like, can I go again? I have to find that next place now.
No, but it's dialogue. It's dialogue, and it's what you guys started. I mean, like, you know, I was in shock when this woman, big old woman, came on radio and said, "Yeah, I'm scared of big black men."
yeah, but Femi, why was you in shock though?
No, but she was telling the truth, and that's what I loved. That
it was so honest.
The reason I loved the platform was that she was given the room to say that, and when you asked her why, she said, "I don't know." Do you know what? Guess what? I know. Because actually, you've been indoctrinated in a system that has told you that black men are dangerous through media, through like education, probably by your parents. And like you've been grown up in this system that tells you that, you know what? Be scared of big black men. Or like, oh, do you know what? The big black man is this sexual being.
Do you know what I would like to see right now?
Tell us.
And I blatantly spoke to one of the bosses about this. I'm terrible at this. We just talk.
Hey, of course.
I said, you know what I would like to see? No more of us talking. I would like to see the other side of people talking. The people that we were supposedly talking to. Right. So a room of our counterparts. So 2 white DJs, 2 white promoters to break down what they heard and what they thought about what they heard, like
that's
in sections.
That's beautiful because
with none of us in the room.
That's amazing.
For them just to talk.
No.
And just to hear what that response is to that.
That there, you see that there, what you said, is what I loved about this. What I've loved about this whole, you know, this is like some truth and reconciliation. I go on Instagram and people are like, yeah, I've experienced racism and this is my story and we're having this moment, right? But what needs to happen more is white people being honest about their lack of understanding or their lack of empathy or the fact that, oh yeah, I was once racist. I called someone an N-word once and all of, like, you know, it's that truth.
That truth. Like how we was truthful. I want to hear the truth from their side. If they think we're talking shit, then say so. Yes. And then we go back into the room and die. Because remember, I did this the documentary I did 4 years ago at Ace, Black is a Dirty Word.
Yeah.
After I had to cancel, it was me and you again, innit?
Yeah, it was.
You know what?
Yeah. Me and Shuni had a booking in Bournemouth. And they did some black guys dirty at the door, didn't let them in for no reason.
Is that when you said that? Is that when you said you weren't DJing there again?
Yeah. So we cancelled bookings there. So
I didn't even have a booking for New Year's Eve that year. Yeah. I was going into January.
That's funny.
And it's always me and you, Ace. Like
it's always me and you.
You're trouble, bro. But what's I gonna say now? I've lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the guys on the other side, talking about the guys that you were appealing to come forward. Yeah. And what I was going to say is, this is when you're going to see, are them men willing to lose a check? Are them men willing to lose their mortgage?
Well, we done lose the check already.
We've lost it, but are they going to do it on the other side, though?
No, but
are they going to say, come true and say,
technically we've done, not to say we ain't lost the check, but we've put ourselves in that position to see if we're going to lose a check. You get what I'm saying?
No, and but Lee, the thing is, this conversation is not going to move forward until white people start taking action, until white people start talking about race.
That's my point.
Open about race. Well, not the thing is, black people have been talking to each other about race for years. We have these conversations all the time. This is what we talk about race and our racial experiences. My mum would be like, my mum was coming home and talking about the white people favoring other white people at work from when I was a little kid. My whole life. Like
that's the point I was gonna make. When we did the documentary, we had a conversation afterwards. Another debate kind of thing. And I remember saying, I don't want to sit in a room of black people because all we're going to do is talk to ourselves in the same manner that we're talking now. That's pointless.
Yeah.
I remember begging just to put somebody in the room, just somebody white, fam. You get what I'm saying? So we could talk to them rather than talking to each other, because all we do is exchange stories to a certain extent. We play that game of Tenerife and 11 Reef. You tell me a story, I tell you a better story. You get what I'm saying? When it's a million white men run me down. You get what I'm saying? I'm tired of having that internal conversation. I want to have that conversation outside. I want to sit. I want to sit in the face of a racist, have a conversation.
I mean, I'll be honest. That was the most, for me, the most powerful moment in that whole thing was when that woman was having that conversation with you lot. I was like, Rod, this is big BBC One Extra, yeah? Go on. And like, for her to be so open about how she felt, I thought, and that's what needs to happen. There needs to be more conversations between black people. There needs to be more conversations between white people, but there needs to be conversations between black people and white people, and honest conversations as well. Not just these like, I don't see race, I don't want to talk about race, and all of those conversations, because they're not true.
And I want to be honest with you guys. I want to big up like a couple of the bosses up at the BBC who like really have opened up themselves to this conversation and this argument, and is affording us like even like the platform, not just this platform, but just like to say, what more can we do? Like I've had emails with heavyweights up at BBC, and for me, I'm taking the opportunity because their ears is wide open. People's ears are wide open right now. We have to take the opportunity. Literally, like everybody now has to get up and tell their story. Probably go on your gram tomorrow and tell a story so they realize that when they look at a black person, it's not a chip on the shoulder. It's not that we're just pissed off. All of us have got a story. We can create a book that will be horror. Everybody has to tell their story.
Yeah.
Femi, I know you said your favorite part was that I think her name was Kaylee when she admitted to being scared of a big black woman, a big black man. Sorry, I feel like she's an anomaly though. I don't feel like the average white person would be as open to say, yes, I'm scared of black people.
No chance.
No way.
That's why it was such a good listen, because
that's why it was
so real.
And this is the thing. This is the truth. Like, you know, like there's obviously extremes, isn't it? There's extreme white people that are just extremely racist and that you know, are toxic in that way. And then there's people like Kelly that are just like, you know what? I don't even know how I feel like this. I don't even know why I feel like this. And like, you know, and then there's like liberals that just turn a blind eye and pretend like it's not going on. I mean, all of this is going on. Yeah, I got my Grab, yeah, and this is all I see on everyone's Instagram, right? And then you go on the news, it's barely registering.
What about the ones that are our friends that we're cool with? They understand the thing, but they don't talk about the injustices that they do blatantly see because they feel they're not comfortable enough, or it's not my place to talk about that.
Do you know what though? You see those people there, yeah? I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and a lot of white people reach out, and they've literally just said, listen, I'm not even going to try and begin to understand or try and understand what you and your brothers have gone through, but I'm sorry, innit? I'm sorry, you know, it's horrendous. You've got my support, blah, 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 blah. And I, the thing is, I genuinely believe it. And I stopped and I thought to myself, how many times have you gone to message somebody about something and you stopped before you press send? You thought, let me wait an hour. This ain't the right time. You know, you just come up with so many different reasons. Bruv, this must be one of the hardest things for people to do right now, to have this conversation, because I would say you've got people that know they're racist. You've got people that are racist and don't even know it. Yeah. And no one wants to be tarnished with that "you're racist" argument. Nobody wants that. So I think this conversation is just a very scary conversation. But I think right now we just need to tell people you can't be scared of education.
How many times have you stood up just because you've seen somebody doing wrong and you'd be like, yo, Bridget, you can't do that, you know?
Yeah, but you know what it is? This I believe, yeah, that and I want to ask Lee about this as well in a minute. I've worked for myself for the last 25 years. Do you know what I mean? I've had no one to answer to but myself. Yeah. So, and these that will tell you on Cut the Track, when we're talking about certain things, my argument is, rude boy, I'm a barber. You know where I'm at. If I've said something that you don't like, land in it. We will have this conversation. You know what I mean? Like that's been my attitude from day. And I understand and appreciate Ace's position and even Femi's position. Do you know what I mean? And even your position, Shawnee B. I understand that. One of the things what I wanted to ask Lee is, for those who don't know, you might not know, Shawnee, Lee's a black taxi. He's a black cab driver. And growing up, and even now, I even look at that. I see more black and ethnic cab drivers and more female cab drivers, black taxi drivers. But that to me still seems like one of them old English, do you know what I mean?
Old
them
boys
jobs.
club.
Yeah, it wasn't old boys club really and truthfully, because they wouldn't tell you. It was like when you were in, and even when I was studying the knowledge, I was getting told by cab drivers, oh, you're wasting your time, there's no money in it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it is a click, it is quite clicky. But the funny thing is, when I done the knowledge of London, I done it with you know, you meet friends in school or whatever, and I met a guy, and he was. I don't want to bait him up because it'll be bait if I say. Anyway, we were good. I felt we was good enough to bring around my man them because we used to study every day, and slowly and surely, certain things he was saying was coming out. And he's not English, by the way. He's not English, but certain things would come out daily. And I think, now you know what? You can't really say that. Now he's from outside London. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was really truthfully, I'm trying to school him, but I'm not trying to over school him. I'm saying, nah, bro, you can't think like that. You can't think like that. Do you get what I'm saying? To a point where I asked him a question one time and I said, oh, would you have a black girl? And it was, and I could tell he wanted to, but he knew the pressures from outside. He knew it was going to be peak from wherever. Do you get what I'm saying? And it was funny because this guy's coming to my house to learn. So we weren't in school, he was coming to my house. And then we were planning one day, oh, let's go to your house and do a barbecue. That day never came. That day never came. That day, we doing the same thing, you know. I'm from the Caribbean. He's not even from England. Like he claims to be from another country too. Do you get what I'm saying? And he couldn't even, do you get what I'm saying?
It's not even just from one part of the world, it's from several parts of the world.
You understand? And it was mad. And it's mad. And obviously, like I said, in my game, there are a lot. It's definitely changed now. It's very, very diverse now. Because even when I'm driving, I don't really see the old English back in the day. Do you get what I'm saying? Like the stereotypical, but I get hit with the same jokes. Oh, do you pick up black guys? Do you go south of the river? Do you do this? And I think, do you get what I'm saying? I get hit with all of these lines day in, day out. Are you serious? All the time. Still, up to this day, all the time.
But are there cab drivers that do stuff like that all drive past black brothers? Like, are they black? I mean, black.
Probably.
No, not white ones. I'm talking about black ones. I'm talking about black.
Are there black cab drivers that do it?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, the competition's scarce now. You can't afford to do that.
Right.
Because to be honest with you, the one time the times I've been bumped are not from my people. I'll be honest with you. And you know,
I was just about to ask you that question, you know, because I've bumped a black cab as a youth. as a youth, I ain't gonna lie with the man them.
Do you know what? I've had two cases always stand out to me. Yeah, there was one. A guy came from his Christmas do with his friends, and it was a white guy. They put him in a cab, and they were like, "Oh, he's good for it. He's going to St. Albans, very rare. He's got the money on him, but he was drunk." And I was like, "Oh, I'm in the Nari," but they were really nice at the door, rare. So I was like, "All right, cool." Took him up to St. Albans. It was messy from the moment I landed, and the bill was nearly £200 worth. It was messy. Do you get what I'm saying? And he got out of the cab and he ran off, and I watched where he ran. And he ran into this big house. He's got the 7 Series convertible on the drive, another car. And I'm thinking, you're trying to take the piss. You're trying to take the piss. You're living life good and you're mugging me off. And that was a scenario that I never thought that looking at him, whatever, wouldn't think that would happen. But in my own people, I've got in the cab and they've got in a bit rowdy. "Oh, hey, boss, no, pick me up. And I'm thinking, I don't like the tone you're talking to me, but let jump in because I want to show you that you can get in this but you have to come a little bit correct when you're talking to me. I don't sell chicken and chips. It's not that. Get in. Do you get what I'm saying? They get in, and to be honest with you, they were billing up and rare. To me, billing up and all that's not bad. Because they said to me, "Can I smoke this spliff in the back?" And I said, "You know what? No. You can do what you're doing. That's your business, but don't take the piss now." Do you get what I'm saying? And when we got to the end, and even I'm thinking, the way they was talking, the conductor, I was thinking, this could either go two ways. And they got out, and one of them was thinking about running off. And the other one identified with me, and we were just having a conversation. I was telling him, you should become a black cab driver because it's good money, rare. Despite what you heard, you work for yourself. And he ended up getting like a 10 off this friend, a 10 off this. So he ended up paying an extra like £50 tip, just getting a 10 off all his friends, winding them together and saying, "Right, that's for you, big man." Do you get what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
We are lovely people like that.
We are, man.
We are. It's the truth.
100%.
Just the way you said it. Here you go. That's for you, big man. I can hear it right now. We are lovely people like that.
Straight.
And that will always stick with me. I had to get out and brush some of the paraphernalia out. But boy, for £50 tip, you got to do what you got to do. You get what I'm saying?
Everybody's banning a bit of weed, fam. You get what I'm saying? We can't even get liquid that no more. You don't hear what? Can't you see how the thing that they used to beat us with is now a multi-billion-dollar
business, isn't it?
industry.
Yeah.
And they pushed us out of that. You have to remember, you know, it's the man them on the edge of the road, you know, original road man them, the man them inside the bookies, rolling up in the bookie paper and all the rest of it. Like it's them man there that make marijuana so big. And now, where are we in this thing?
Straight.
And these are all, this is all the things that contribute to our holding us down, appropriating what we've got. We did all the marketing and advertising on that, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Of course we did.
You said we did all the marketing and advertising.
We did, from music to them spliffy jeans to everything. Like, we marketed it 100%. We made it cool.
What's the ride? How much home remedies from back in the day do you now see in the pharmacy?
It's true.
Yeah.
Appropriated, labeled up, and fed back to us. And this is what they've done with our music, all sorts, to take total control of mama's remedies. You get what I'm saying? Like, all that, like, and this is what that we have to start talk up for this. When I'm going inside certain stores and seeing carrot juice, blood, my mum used to press out carrot juice from when I was a youth, man. You know about that. You get what I'm saying? Like, but and we have to now grab all of that, because that is our magic. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody's vegan, move, man was ital. You get what I'm saying? Like, I used to laugh at you're laughing, you know, but it's for real, for real. When you think about them things there, yeah, you understand the concept of Babylon. Because when you say Babylon system, you know, check the facts, you know. Carrot juice now, they would have on a bottle with a package labeled 50% of that, 10% of that, this, that, the other, rare. Aloe vera. My mom used to call it single Bible. You have a little burn on you or whatever, you just rub it on your skin. Boom. Now that's packaged up in a bottle, 10%, this, that, the other. All those labelings and all them things there, that's a Babylon system, you know. Because mommy would just go like that.
Yeah.
Tip. So for us to succeed, we have to enter into that Babylon system. Have we got the key to that? We ain't got the key to that. They've now got marijuana, labeled it up, 10% this. I remember when the man them on the ends would be, it's a boom draw. Now you got this percentage, this, that, the other, this, that, the other. So we've been pushed out of that because we don't have access, or we do have access to it now, but it's harder for us to be, because where is our physicians and chemists and all the rest of it then, to be able to put those labels on those things for we to have the ownership of it?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, like, you look at the biggest marijuana companies in the world, and like, it's a huge industry now. So it's forecast, I'm just looking it up, like, the global marijuana market increased by 37% in 2018. It's forecast to reach $57 billion. And how many of those $57 billion are going into black hands?
Let's keep it stereotypical. Where's Delray and Leroy? When there? They're not involved. Have you watched that documentary, the Green of the Grass or whatever?
No, is it on Netflix?
Yeah. You got to watch that shit. There was a white guy there and that goes, man, you can't put all the potheads in this there to fuck it up. Bruv, wow. My pothead brethren, them are the quickest fucking mathematicians on the roadside. Don't play. They know about quarters, eighths, and all that, fam. We're mathematicians, blood. We're that. What is Jay-Z then? That's where he come from, innit? We got that knowledge, but they hold us out of all of this. And these are the things that piss me off.
Yeah.
And one thing that frustrates me is it's hard to get white people to acknowledge white privilege. Like, they don't even understand it. They don't get it.
They can't understand it though. They can't fathom it really.
It's what one of the ladies in the chat said. It's like white people don't even understand what it means to be white. So if you you tell white people like, oh, they'll call you black, right? Sometimes white people are uncomfortable when you call them white.
You think they call us black?
They feel uneasy. Some of them, sometimes they do.
I feel they be like, hey, surely you're black.
However, no, but this is the thing, this is the thing, Shorty. But when they're putting out all those statistics, they're not scared to call us black. They're not scared to say black on black crime. They're not scared.
Well, then, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And
But that's from a distance.
No, but that's the prism that is used to categorize us and put us in boxes, right? And so what happens is, like, when I did an interview about 2 years ago, and I referred to white people as white people, and oh my gosh, the backlash I got for saying white people.
Are you serious?
Yeah. People going at me for saying white people. They're like,
So
oh,
how should you address them?
I don't know. But when you want to talk about,
we should flip the script and call them colored people.
Yeah, exactly.
Joke.
Exactly. But like ultimately, like white people don't even like, they're happy to categorize other races, but then the minute you talk to them about their race and their privilege that comes with that, it's really uncomfortable conversation.
Because it's normal to them. They don't even recognize it because it's normality. You've grown up in this normal way. What is become kind of norm to us, and it's normal for us to hear our parents say, you have to be 2 times, 3 times better, this, that, the other. We naturally take those phrases and we've passed them on to our children, who's going to pass them on to their children. What they've got is now their normality of just going through in life without realizing anything. That's why the program on Tuesday was such an eye-opener to be like, hello, let me talk slow. There is a problem.
Straight.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's interesting.
Yo.
Do you remember? I thought about this today, and what we was talking about white privilege and some white people not understanding what white privilege is. And one of the best examples that I have is when me, Ace, and Lee was in Ibiza. Yeah. So we're in Ibiza, we're at Ocean Beach, and everybody knows who Ace is because the DJ at the time wasn't doing too well. So everyone's looking at Ace like, Ace, land in it, save the party and land. Ace is just like, nah, I can't, ready. Anyway, so we're sitting on our table and there's 2 white guys sitting on the last table behind us, right in the corner, and they're smoking weed. Yeah. Now, if anyone knows,
yeah, I remember this one. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very multicultural place. It's very multicultural. Do you understand? It is what it is. Like it's the hot spot in Ibiza. Anyone that's there, you got to go Ocean Beach. So we're there. These guys are smoking weed. Then security lands. Yeah. Security lands, and I think there's about 2 or 3 wham security, and they're just staring at us. They're screwing us down. So they walked up to our table. They walked around our table. They're looking on the floor to see where we've dropped the weed because no one's smoking now. They've circled the table and then they walked off. Now, this is where it got funny. The white guys that were smoking the weed, I kid you not, I could not make this up. They turned to us and they said, you know what that is, lads? That's white privilege. That's exactly what they said.
100%.
Did you want to fight them? Did you want to fight them?
We had to laugh. It was just like, because that was 100% white privilege.
That's what we could do. And even back then, that statement back then didn't really hit home then. You understand? It was just like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. You understand? I think one of the people that we was with might have even asked them for a draw. I don't really know. That might have happened. But it didn't hit home then. You see now, and that's the only way to explain that. Like, is one of the easiest ways to explain white privilege. Being followed in a store. Do you know what I mean? And then even with that, you're still gonna get. Are you sure he was following you? Are you sure, Bridget? You see security tags left on clothes. You know what I found out? Half the time they do it on purpose. Half the time the staff do it on purpose. I spoke to somebody who works they do it on purpose. You see me now? Let that buzzer go off, see if I'm stopping. I'm not running.
They do it on purpose to get people.
They do it on purpose, Bridget.
Why?
As a game.
As a game. Remember, these shop assistants, they're bored, you know? Hold on, wait. What you think? If all us 5 wasn't working in the shop, we wouldn't come up with the most off-key games
stupid
to
games.
play,
Yeah, of course.
bruv.
So
Half the
imagine-
time on purpose. It's mad.
Imagine like this guy tweeted, right? George Floyd and I were both arrested for allegedly spending a counterfeit $20 bill. For George Floyd, a man my age with 2 kids, it was a death sentence. For me, it is a story I sometimes tell at parties. That, my friends, is white privilege.
Fam, we can go deeper. Like Dylan Roof went into a black church and killed bare people, and he didn't die. They actually took him to Burger King.
Yeah, they fed him.
Fam,
They fed him.
that's white privilege.
Like, and I've said it, and I posted something up on the gram just before this, and it was like, for all people that are questioning, why are you lot so angry? Why are you lot making so much noise? Why are you lot? And even I was watching a video about the media, and we speak about this all the time. Like, you know, the media is the majority of things in this world is down to the media. But when you look at 2 sets of people behaving the exact same way and the language they use, when black people get together to demonstrate, thugs, animals, they're rioting. When white people get together to demonstrate, it's a protest. Even if that protest gets out of hand, oh, it got a bit rowdy. Oh, you know, the words that they use, yeah.
It never stops being a protest.
Do you know what? It's even more. I remember being at my son's primary school, went in to go out and chat to the head teacher. And as I talk, I do a lot of this. When I'm on air, I will be, and that's how I pace myself when I'm talking, and I do a lot of that. And she sat there and she was like, Mr. Delorney, even in the mannerisms that you speak, you know, it's rather aggressive. I put my hands in my pocket, you know, and I sat there. And this head teacher she was abstract dancing, bruv. I sat there, just allowed it. You know, when you're like, watch this, sit her up here, now put it around your neck and go, sir. I just sat there and I goes, Miss blah, blah, blah. Do you know for the last 15 minutes, you've been speaking with your hands? And she, no. When I do it, it's aggressive and it's frightening. When you do it, it's expressive. Can you see the problem that we got here? And you know, even then, she wouldn't accept it. Me and my son's mum went in to have a meeting with these people. And she said that because the 2 of us are there, it was intimidating for the teacher. So I said, what would you like me to do? Pretend that my son comes from a single parent family. Like, are you
Maybe
serious?
she was expecting only one of you to come.
Bruv, these are all the things that it's so horrible, and they don't realize the kind of things that they do that makes it so difficult for us. And it makes it even more difficult, especially in the schooling system. For me, when I want to clamp my youth guy, I go on bad, but you know that it's like they've left this big old loophole there for him to escape through, and you know they've been doing wrong as well. You get what I'm saying? And they really need to start check themselves with all these kind of things. That's for me.
Can I change up the vibe a little piece? Just because the last 7 days for me, probably much so like all of you, has just been mentally and physically draining. Yep. Like there's been times where my moods will change throughout the day, and I don't even know why. But then I might have seen another video, or I had a phone call or something, but my moods have gone up and down, up and down, up and down. And I kind of said to myself, I'm refusing to have fun in the immediate future. Like, I'm not posting nothing fun on Instagram. It's not that time. I'm not posting nothing fun. There's no jokes now. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of said, all right, we're gonna run with this. But the other day I was buttering bread. Yeah. So I've cut some hard bread and I'm buttering the hard bread. And you know when you open the packet of butter, and then you've got that foil, the foil thing that you peel back. Yeah. And as I've done this, I stopped and I thought, am I the only person that does this? That keeps the foil on the butter? Then I said, there's a lot of differences between black people and white people that are just funny.
What are you? Wait, are you meant to dash away the foil? Are you meant to dash it away?
That's what I'm saying.
I've never dashed away the
that's
foil.
what's there for a protector.
That is
You peel it and you
definitely
left it.
Yeah. I just peel it back and then I push it back over. You get what I'm saying? They don't get contaminated.
This is the thing. Why are you peeling it back? Because the lid is a clip down lid.
Hold on. So you don't have a separate butter dish?
I've actually got one. Do you know what's hilarious?
You got a butter dish?
I've actually got one.
I got a butter dish as well, though. I have got a butter dish as well.
I'm not gonna lie, I do have one.
You might have got a butter dish.
Yeah,
Femi
I'll
lives
be honest.
uptown,
Yeah,
no
but-
man. Femi lives in Maidaville.
I do have one. I'm not
Hold
gonna
on,
lie, and it's
Hold on. Explain the butter. So when you go shopping,
bro. Let me go and try and
You
find
can
it.
transport from one
me go
place
and
to another
find it.
easily.
I do have
So
one.
I got two. So you got the normal one with the foil, and then you got the butter dish. It comes in foil, like a foil slab. You take it out and put it in the butter dish, and then you put the porcelain thing back over it.
Man said
Yeah,
porcelain.
yeah, but that's cooking butter, alive. That's butter.
Yeah. But sometimes, certain times that has to go on the toast sometimes as well.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you lot getting killed in the comments for the butter dish, you know that?
No, I've got one. I want to go and get up and get it.
You lot
I
are
don't
coloured,
even want
fam.
you lot to finish me. Mine was white actually from John Lewis.
So voila, before you go get your butter dish, yeah? Do you have a flannel or do you have a rag?
This is what I'm saying.
I've got both.
I got both as well. I got a sponge as well,
Yeah, I've got
Fudge, you got scrub. You got scrub.
and a scrunchie.
He's got a
I've got
loofah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you lot. It's
Huh?
balanced.
I got a sponge and a scrunchie.
Okay.
So you don't have a rag.
Right.
Hey, Sean, you have to bring the butter dish. They want to see the butter dish.
And I have 3 white girls that bathe me every night.
There's no butter in it.
Jesus Christ. Leave.
That's white
This is my
privilege
butter
right there.
dish. Look.
Yes, Femi.
Yes, Femi.
Wait, have you got a butler over there or something, Femi? That just suddenly appeared.
No, my missus.
You know what they
brought
killed it
My missus brought it.
if you lift the lid and there was pounded yam underneath it.
It's nice. This is that. Why you
That's
say
not
this is?
proper.
I thought everyone had one of these.
No.
Nah,
No.
G.
So wait, when you have your toast in the morning, do you have your own little toast thing that sits in
No.
with the butter dish and everything?
I don't really eat bread. But no. So
All right. So what other kind of black and white funny things are there? Because I was talking about this with Aish the other day, and the rag thing was one of them.
Washing
Right?
the chicken. I think a lot of white
That's-
people been frustrated about that whole washing the chicken thing.
They don't wash their chicken
They don't wash their chicken in it.
or their
They
legs.
say obviously they say the professionals say that's spreading the thing in it, but we don't care where it's spreading. You still gotta get that lemon and lime.
Can we clean down the
Rub it
counter
down.
afterwards anyway?
But I've had a lot of white people say to me, why would you wash it?
Mad.
Well, yeah, that's all a bit. I'm trying to find where I wrote. All right, okay, yeah. So another one is Dettol. The use of Dettol.
In the
Go
bath.
on.
In the bath.
In the bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the other day, yeah. You see when this COVID thing started. So these lot know. I use Body Shop. Yeah, I use Body Shop products. Yeah, strawberry shower gel, the Satsuma. Listen, surely
You don't use carbolic soap. Ashamed of you. I'm ashamed.
I certain times, yeah, I will come out smelling like a tropical rainbow. If I mix them things together, it's a mad thing, yeah. But hear this now. So when this corona started, and I understand my missus is from Birmingham, yeah. From Birmingham, landed in South London, Brixton. So she's you understand. I come home, jumped it, I've got my shower gel, bust it, poured it in my rag, Why can't I just smell pure Dettol? Why she fill up the whole bottle with Dettol, Brethren? Knowing that there's Corona and Dettol kills everything. I said, oh my God.
She put Dettol in with the shower gel.
He poured Dettol in the shower jar.
Mad.
Mm-mm.
That is
Listen,
definitely a black thing.
that there. I couldn't even say nothing. What can I say? I couldn't even say nothing. All right, cool. Do your thing.
Let me,
Yeah,
let,
I
me
mean-
let me think. I gotta have a think. Separation of cultures. Let me think now.
I put one for you, Femi. This isn't, I think your people started this, Femi.
Which one? The bucket bath.
Nah, we ain't even get into that. Carrying Tupperware to events.
Bro, you don't carry it. They give it to you, bro.
What?
This is what you don't understand.
Now he's right. He's 100%
They
right.
give it to you, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is the thing. Part of the culture is like, we make so much food, you have to take some home. Like, that's like normal. That's like when I used to go to parties with my mum, yeah.
You used to roll out with food. Standard.
I used to roll always, but also, do you know what I used to do? I used to go around the tables and take drinks. I used to take an empty bag, take drinks, and sell it at school to get 100% profit on Monday.
Oh my God, Femi, you
There
are
was so much food and drink everywhere. So I used to like, literally, I made a business out of it. So like, because I didn't like going parties with my mum at a certain age. But after a while, I was like, oh, do you know what? This might be good venture. So I was just going and just cleaning out the drinks and like shotting it at school. 100% profit, no investment.
Shout out to Angel. She says black people don't use the timer on the cooker.
I
didn't even
you know
know
what?
there was one.
You know what?
I didn't even know there was one
I'll
either.
tell you what, Ace, us new black people, we do timings and we do measurements now. Don't tell me you ain't got skills. So
I don't use
you
the timer
can't-
on the cooker. I thought it was a clock for the longest time, bro. I was like, raw. I set the clock and I come back and it's still at the same time.
Hey,
I didn't know it was a timer.
I used the timer and she cusses me every day for not using the timer.
Oh, that's mad.
I've never used a timer. I didn't even know how to use it.
The timer. Like, but you know what it is? You see, if I'm cooking something, she will cuss me because I will get up about 3-4 times to peek in the oven to see what I go on. And she'll be like, see all of that, you're just wasting your time. Come and turn on the timer and come with the program, innit? I'm like, nah, I don't need the timer. She's a timer queen.
I didn't know about the timer. I didn't even know we had a timer on the cooker. A timer, you know. Never used it before in my life.
Never.
I thought it was a clock.
Exactly.
What about taking a bucket to bed to go toilet?
Oh, that's
that
a
one?
That
a
old school.
pail. That's pail.
The
A pail. A
Yeah, the
pail.
pail. Old school pail.
You never had a pail.
That
That's
old school.
old
Yeah.
That's older than me.
You
bro.
don't know about a pail.
You don't know about the pail?
No.
Yo, bruv, when you
See,
piss
you
in the
don't know about the
night,
pail?
all you hear tonight is
Listen. Hey, listen, I'll tell you a story, yeah? When I was a youth, man, I used to stay at my aunt's, my grand's summer holidays, yeah? I used to stay in the bed with her. And certain times in the morning, she would get up, sit on the pail, looking right at me in my face. Like, where you look, man? Like,
That's
where you
all-
look, man?
that's a granny.
Rag, she didn't care. She ain't going downstairs because our toilet was downstairs. That toilet was downstairs. She wasn't going nowhere.
That's so funny.
Mad.
That's why there was always Dettol in the yard. Clean out the pail.
To bleach it out.
All them old school things there, I love all of them. That just reminds me of that. Even my mother doing my grandmother's hair with a hot comb on a Sunday, and you could smell the smell of burning hair.
Yeah.
That's relaxer to all the girls that must doing weave right now.
Little cousins with their
Relax your hair.
braids with the thread. Remember that? The tight braids with the thread. And then the shiny cocoa butter on their forehead. All of that, man. We're just different. We're just different.
What about the runner that used to go down like in the hallway? It was like a clear little bit
Oh,
of
the
runner.
plastic.
Yeah.
Remember the little bit of
jeez.
plastic?
Oh, man.
Old school. And the
Bro.
beads in the kitchen.
The beats.
The beads.
I wasn't allowed in my living room when I was a youth.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's why my
The
grandfather
living room was
allowed-
locked. The
What?
living room was locked. It was locked.
For guests only, yeah.
For guests only.
Seriously?
Lockdown.
Yeah.
Lockdown.
No, Joe, I
Mad
didn't know. I didn't know what my living room looked like for a long time. I promise you that bitch was locked up. You get me?
Mm.
The magic room.
Yeah.
The magic room.
My yard was rammy now, so we needed a space. It's like, they get it there.
That's funny.
The magic thing, you know.
Hey,
The
sure.
magic thing.
It's been a pleasure, my brother, man. Tell them when they can listen to you on the radio, bro.
I just finished on the radio at 10 o'clock, but by the magic of radio.
The magical radio. It was with
Literally.
us and on the radio at the same time.
At the same time, we're in the studio right now, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Next week, we're back at the usual time, 9 o'clock, so 9 to 11, dancehall and all the rest of it.
For sure.
And look out for the wanted picture, because you never know.
You never know.
It's scary
And
times.
Make sure you go listen back to me and Shawnee on One Extra
Yes.
Talks from Tuesday. It's a definite must listen. Thank you
I
very
mean,
much. brother.
I think it's an important moment. It was one of the most important moments in this whole conversation. And like for years to come, because of the platform it was on, that's what was so important. And the way that you guys use that platform, it's going to be cited for years to come as an important moment in the conversation about race and in the conversation about, you know, in putting forward, you know, a strong version of Black British culture. So I'm really proud of you guys, man. I was happy to be able to share that moment with you guys and to be able to share it with my children as well. I thought that was a beautiful thing.
Can I just say,
so much, guys?
That was one of the most frightening things, to know that we got that platform and to know that we're talking not for everyone, but at the end of it, it felt like we spoke for everyone.
Yeah.
So to have got it right, that's so humbling. Trust me, so humbling.
Thank you, guys, man.
Love, bro.
God
There you
bless.
go. Massive shout out to Shawnee B for joining us today. You didn't have a relationship corner, Damon?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up on that, innit?
All right, cool.
All right, so this one's a technical one. So I had a few messages from various different people, but I had a few similar ones to this. So basically, white lady with a mixed race son, and basically she was just asking what advice can we give her, because she knows she can't empathize with her son. She understands it's wrong, you know, and at no point is she even questioning herself whether she's racist or whatever, but she can't empathize with her son. I think he's 14, and she knows that he's seeing things and hearing things and he's getting angry and bloody blah. And it's just like, you know, basically what she's asking, kind of like, if because she's white and she's a white mum and she hasn't experienced anything that we've experienced, what can we advise her to say and do or whatever to help her son through this time of what's going on right now?
Where's the dad?
I actually don't know. She's got people around her, but I'm not actually sure about the dad, to be fair.
Are there black men around her?
Well, yes, this is what I do know. Yes, she has got black men around her.
I think that's the key, because I don't think, no disrespect, and I just don't think a white woman can teach a black boy about how to be a black man. Just think it's that simple. Like, she's never gonna understand what we go through from day to day. She's never gonna understand why he might come home and be angry. She's never gonna understand why he has to move a certain way around the police. She's never gonna understand why he has to move a certain way on the streets. There's so many things that she's not gonna be able to connect with. So he's just gonna need some positive black men around him that he can talk to. So hopefully his dad's about, and if he's not, then I don't know, man. It's gonna be hard, but there's gonna be so many things that they're gonna disconnect. There's gonna be so many things she's not gonna be able to relate to. It's gonna be hard.
Because I was gonna just answer this, and I thought, nah, we'll put it out here for this discussion. Firstly, she needs to be patient with him. Yeah, she needs to be patient with him, because as you said, she's not gonna understand certain things, and she has to be patient. She has to listen, and she has to now reach out to her black friends and even his black family. And whilst she's reaching out to them to talk to him, she needs to get them to talk to her as well and help her understand and see certain things, because a lot of things can't necessarily be explained. You know, and even as a young teenage boy, just young teenagers aren't the best at vocalizing their feelings. I'm not the best at none. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we're not the best at vocalizing our feelings. So for a young kid, seeing everything on the media, you know, wanting to go out to rallies and demonstrations and all that, I think she's just gonna have to be patient, speak to people around her, and just. I know this is easier said than done, but you know, that whole be there for him. You know, whatever that means, in whatever way, shape, or form that means. You know, because I'm very sure that he's gonna have certain issues, you know, and maybe even certain ill feelings towards, you know, white people and or police officers, and even just that education there, you know, of not all police officers are the enemy, and trying to explain to a young angry boy that not all police officers are the same. And at some point, because even yesterday when we posted up the thing about trying to find that old gentleman that was in Brixton prison but didn't know where he lived, and I thought, look at that, you know, for the last 6 days, you know, I would say the majority of black people have been anti-police for their behavior, but yet we're calling out for people to call the police station, because that's where this gentleman is, you know, to help. Do you know what I mean? And it's like we kind of do have to let these young people know, be aware, you know, be aware, get educated, be smart, but not all police are the enemy. So,
but honestly, I feel like she needs to buy him like books to read as well. And if he doesn't like reading, she should buy some. There's loads of reading material. Like people have just posted, just going through the message. There's like, obviously, surround yourself with black people. Like,
there's films you can watch as well, though.
There's films, there's books. I mean, there's a Carlos book.
For what? Explain for what?
There's actually a Carlos book. Yeah, he talks about being brought up by a mixed race mum, by a white mum. He spends chapters, and he spends, you know, he talks about the first time he discovered he was black, because he didn't know he was black for years, and he told his mum, and she had to, like, you know, she took him to I don't know if they still do it, but Carlo went to Africa School, the Winnie Mandela.
Yeah, Pan-African, yeah. Holloway, innit? It was in Holloway, innit?
It was in Fisby Park somewhere.
Okay, yeah.
And so Carlo went to that. I don't know if they've still got that. And then you've sort of like, you've got loads of books, but I think for me, and there's a book called British by Afua Hirsch. She should read. If he doesn't read those books, she should read them, because actually those two books, the Afua Hirsch one talks about being middle class and being mixed race, right? And also like struggling with coming to terms with being, you know, black, society classified as black. And then Carlos one talks about it from the male perspective. If he doesn't read it, she should read it. Both of them.
Because, you know, it was funny because I watched LL Cool J, that he asked a question earlier on in the week, or maybe even last week. Like, he wonders what biracial families are talking about and going through right now. And I kind of thought about it.
People came for him for that.
But you know what it is? And he explained it. He goes, he's not dismissing black lives. He just asking a question, because at the end of the day, like, I've spoken to mixed race brethren, and in growing up, they blatantly say, like, we were too light for black people, but we're too dark for white people. So they're just in limbo. Do you know what I mean? So now, being of a certain age, and the reality is, yeah, you're black. How do you even, how like, I would like to hear that conversation. Like how are you, like, having this conversation? Because, bruv, for the last 7 days, yeah, I've been around you, Ace. You was around us social distancing in the park the other day, and it was just, do you know what I mean? It was just black people. So we're not really around kind of people of other races to have that conversation. But it can't be easy. It definitely can't be easy at all.
Mm.
At all.
It's not even fast either, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But
I mean,
you know what?
like, generally for me, I just feel like, you know, like there's material out there, there's like films out there, there's material out there that's exploring, like, you know, growing up in mixed race families. And I suppose the difficult thing about growing up with dual heritage is that obviously you've got experience of both races, but sometimes society, especially in the West, automatically classifies you as black. And I just feel like people should be given an opportunity to choose. It's up to them.
But do they choose what?
To choose, like, you know, what they identify. Some mixed race people, I've got mixed race friends that are like, yeah, I'm black. I've got mixed race people, I've met mixed race people that are like, yeah, I'm mixed race. I'm like dual heritage. And I've met mixed race people that just don't want anything to do with black people.
Well, let's hope they don't end up in America.
To be fair, I
mean extreme. I mean extreme.
I see mixed race people as black, if I'm honest.
So do I.
I just think you're just black, innit?
And you know what the funny thing is?
You've got color in you, innit?
You see mixed race people. We can't actually tell if somebody's mixed race just by the color of their skin.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like look at I don't, you know what it is? He's cool. Look at Nigel. See Nigel and Keris.
Oh yeah.
See that whole family? There's like, I think 6 siblings, and their spectrum, their color spectrum is mad. It is mad, and they got the same father, the same mother. And if you look at like from the lightest one to the darkest one, you'd be like, nah, you lot aren't related, but they look exactly the same. They look exactly the same. So yeah, you can't base it on color, because there's a lot of black people that are very, very light, and vice versa. But I look at them as black, and it's a tricky one. Like it's just a hard one for them, as you quite rightly said, Ace. It's a hard one for us. But this is kind of like a crazy time. This guy back.
Maybe we should get a mixed race guy on next time to talk about this.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get an actual mixed race person.
Yeah. What I was gonna say though, it must be hard. Like it's easy to get like you growing up where we grew up in London. It's so much diverse. It's hard to see. You don't really like people aren't brave enough to say certain things. You get what I'm saying? Because it's so diverse. Like my class, there was only 2 white people in it. Now, had I been a black guy growing up in Romford, it would be a little bit different. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying when I'm saying that?
Brian Bello. You'd be Brian Bello.
Yeah, Black Brian Bello. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and imagine what he had to part with in school.
Yeah.
And even not just from school, imagine what he gets apart from when he comes to the hood, or he comes around it, and he's sitting there having a conversation with us. We were like, "Is this guy for real?"
Maybe he shouldn't wear the blue contacts, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and relax the hair, and relax the hair backwards.
I think we're going down the slippery slope.
We are.
I know it's gonna get rude.
Shall we go to bed now?
We had a lot of viewers tonight, man. Salute to everybody that is watching us on YouTube. I know that I've heard the IG wasn't really working properly, but we'll get it fixed for next week. And we'll be back on. We'll be back on Tuesday, our normal time at 9.
Hey,
yo,
just quickly, are you all right? So, how are you?
I'm good. I'm better.
You've had. Listen, I just want to say, you've had an emotional week.
I have.
Your video of you in your car, yeah, I can't even lie. That was you just tired, or did tears of emotion come? Because fam, you know what it is? I need to started bawling when I saw that. Listen, you see you 3, yeah. Like anyone, bruv, look for as long as you lot have known me, I know a lot of people. I know a hell of a lot of people. But I don't have that many people close to me. Like Femi, your kids was running amok through my house. Lee, you've stolen things from my house. We're gonna get into that another time.
You mean talk about your foot? I will save that for another.
We're gonna talk about my foot another time.
Okay.
You understand? Like, and honestly, like I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, like, I've got a couple, maybe 2 or 3 other people that are mad close, but you 3 are some of the closest guys that I've got in my life. Like, so when I saw your video the other day, Ace, it touched me because it's like we don't do it on purpose. We just take things for granted because we're always okay in it. And I think because we're so busy, we've got no time to be anything other than okay. But when you actually pulled over, and I'm looking at this brother, and I'm like, is this guy about to break down? Do I need to go and try and find him or something? Is he where is that Grange Road? Is that Beulah Hill that he's on? Where is that? Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what it is for me. I'll tell you what, I'll be honest, it's got me quite emotional, is I think like the honesty and just the revelation and just being open, it's so liberating. Like sometimes I might come to the barbershop and just jam in the barbershop, and I know I look tired. And I'm tired because I'm dealing with people. I'm not going to go there, but like I'm dealing with fuckery, like, and I'm like, I'm not happy, and sometimes I'm not. I feel like anyway, we're not going to go back into it, but it's quite draining at times. And also, I feel anyway, we're going to go back to the beginning of the podcast. Let's leave it alone. But yeah,
can we talk about the times, Ace, when them man go home? I mean, you sit in the podcast room just chatting for hours till 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, 100%. Because
you man didn't even know that we do that.
Man just needs to vent.
Me and Ace would just sit down there for hours just chatting, man.
Just venting, bro. So yeah,
we're not really your friends. We're not invited to that party.
Like fake friends. But yeah,
certain things are happening in that party. Not like that, but juice and you know what I mean. And
he was not relaxing. Ray and his nephew.
Old school.
But yeah, it's liberating to let people know how you feel about just being black.
Lee, they're getting onto your hat again. Oh my gosh.
I'm going dreads in it. What's wrong with them?
These people are onto you every week.
Every week, boy. Let me see what they got to say today.
Can I also say it was liberating that I didn't wear a hat on social media and no one even said anything.
Bro,
that's amazing.
I tell you, Ace, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. You look like a R&B Donny.
Fam, I think that's my new thing.
No. On a smooth one, Ace, I'll be real. On a smooth one, where you've lost the weight as well, the beard was looking strong. It looked moisturized. You look moisturized.
Man trying to say I look dry all the time.
No, but that day, you look moisturized in that video I saw. Mad moisture.
I said moisturized.
No, you were using like the shea butter from Ghana, bro. You took it from Mumsy's house that day. It was looking shiny.
From the village.
Mm-hmm. No, Ace, you look HD. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate that, my brother.
Ace, you didn't have your hat on.
No hat. No, don't go there. Don't go there.
What else did you have?
No. Anyway, all right, we will be back on Tuesday at 9 o'clock on YouTube. Thank you to everybody locked in. Rate, subscribe, comment. Massive shout out to Shawnee B. And again, if you guys want to go check out that show, it is on the BBC Sounds app. I would suggest you go listen to it. I think it's a very important listen. And Black Lives Matter, of course, and rest in peace to George Floyd, of course. You know what I mean? And salute to you guys. I love you lot. I want to say that as well. You guys are my brothers, and I appreciate
love you guys, man.
Come on.
Right. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.